Last Saturday was 20th September 2025. So I saw something that I want to discuss on this video. So I was passing, there was a hotel that I was passing, and then I saw an accident. And the car that was involved was Peugeot 301. So that's the car you are seeing on the video thumbnail. Maybe you can pause the video and look at it again. Or probably I'll post the pictures and then block the number plate. I'll put it on the comment section. No, the community post section. So, the reason why I'm doing this video is because two things could, I believe, probably cause this accident. As in, one of these two things could cause it. Or at least in future, for anybody who wants to buy a car, you need to learn something from this, or you already have one. So what happened was, from the look of things, as if the car drove and parked behind one Toyota Camry. And when he wanted to drive out, he now, I don't know, for some reason he panicked or something, because it was automatic transmission with EC5 engine. So he now pressed the throttle thinking it was brake or something to the floor. So he has already turned the steering wheel, so he now hit the Camry behind. I think it was 2012 Toyota Camry or something. Hit it behind on the left side of the bumper, and then crossed the road and went and smashed on the concrete electric pole, to the point that it smashed it and then pulled the pole completely down, including other poles connected to that. I mean, it was horrible. Hope they will be able to fix that car because of the condition I saw the vehicle. Or probably he was driving, he was in the streets, as a hotel. So probably as he was driving, he now wanted to park behind the Camry. There was no car, no traffic, nothing, just normal street. So it wasn't as if he was speeding. No, he wasn't speeding. Whoever that was driving the car was not speeding. But I don't know what happened. It just, when he now, all of a sudden, boom, I believe two things, like I said, probably caused it. Number one, some people just, I don't know, maybe they are not, you are better off not driving automatic vehicles. That's just an unfortunate thing, because people that are really smart thing, maybe something happened, he now panicked, and he was a man. I saw the person that drove the car was a man. Instead of you to, women do that sometimes, but I was surprised this one too was done by a man. You just press the throttle. I was thinking that it would be brake. And instead of you to let go of the throttle, they will still hold it there because they already panicked. So at that point, they didn't even know what they were doing. And because if it was manual, come on. But it's possible that some people will still do it in manual. Because if it's was manual, if it's automatic, if you press it that hard, in fact, whether manual or automatic, may not even be able to control it at that time. So it's no longer about being automatic. I think some people, I don't think you guys should if you are the type that panics at any small thing, don't drive. Just find a driver. If you are a man and you have that kind of, what do I even call it? We call it abnormally. I don't know. If it's your wife, let your wife be driving you around. I don't get it, because I see people do that a lot. It's not just in situations like this. You just be driving. They will see something, they will start swerving, trying to avoid something that is not even close to them. Maybe they see something happen on another lane completely. They will start driving to hit another person because they don't want that thing over there to cross over and affect it. I've seen things, man, on the road, especially on a long journey, that sometimes you wonder how people get driver's license. But then it's not just about driver's license that will prove someone's state of mind in cases like this, because even if the person was tested, the test probably was done on just normal drive. But when eventualities like this, things that happens, probably instead of the person to calmly control his emotion of fear, you just flick out and cause a big mess. Now the second one, that's where you guys should be more interested in knowing how to avoid such things. Modern cars, because they are controlled by computers, I mean the engines, almost everything. The engine can actually accelerate by itself. That's the unfortunate thing. It can just start accelerating by itself, which is more dangerous if it's automatic, because if it's manual, it has happened many times, which I personally have experienced, where a car will start overheating, as in within seconds, almost to the red zone. So what you should do in that case, if it's manual, you just press the clutch pedal to disengage the engine from the gearbox. That's engine controlling the gearbox. So in that case, yeah, engine will be shouting, you can be able to control it. But in a situation where it's automatic transmission, and suddenly the engine starts accelerating rapidly by itself, even without you accelerating, touching your throttle pedal, you just see it climbing to the red zone on a very tight space or highway or short distance. It may take a while. I don't know, it's not everybody that can be able to handle that, because in that case your brake becomes meaningless. I don't think your brake will be able to handle that. And not everybody will remember, as you're pressing the brake, maybe you should start shift it out of the park to neutral. You know, all those things. Remember, the car is in motion at that time, and to get to neutral, you have to pass reverse. So that's the problem. So it could also be what happened in that case. You could say it's not possible. How many times? See, even in Peugeot, there's a Peugeot car I personally have experienced. Well, I remember 407. I went to inspect for someone somewhere at Nyanya, Abuja. And it was a facelifted 407. The price wasn't that high, and the body wasn't that bad. Okay, kind of panibited to some places, but to my surprise, we started the engine. It started very well as it was running. I was just shaking, looking around the car, shaking as the engine was. All of a sudden, the engine started rising. The RPM. I was like, hey, who is accelerating this? It's too much now. It kept rising till it got close to it. So as I could hear the engine screaming at cold start. I just watched it. I didn't see anybody inside the car. Wait, I immediately switch it off. I opened the bonnet. I knew this is a motorized throttle body, so it's not as if maybe the throttle cable hooked somewhere. I started the car again. This time I was inside the car paying attention. If you start it, the first few minutes, in the first few seconds, it will run well. After like maybe 30 seconds or 40 seconds, then it will start accelerating itself, start climbing. And that was how I walked away from that car. I didn't care what the issue was, whether it was the ECU, which most likely I believe was caused by faulty ECU, or a wrong wiring connection. So I didn't care. I was like, man, this is not something I want to dabble into, even if I recommend the vehicle to the owner. I don't know what or how long it will take to eventually solve the problem. So there are certain things you might easily walk away. If it's a different thing, if it's a vehicle with probably one kind of engine that you don't want to miss, you then decide to bite the bullet and risk it and buy, with hope you'll be able to replace it. Especially if it's the ECU, get a good one, replace it. If it's not ECU, then you have a big problem to deal with. A bigger problem, I meant. Okay, so these are the two things. So if you are going out there to buy a car, a used vehicle, see, when you start, because you start the vehicle, you run for a minute, it doesn't mean you will not have this kind of issue. You have to test it very well, to be sure, because it can. Now, I've watched videos where this kind of thing killed some people, where they were driving, suddenly the car started accelerating. They couldn't control this thing because it was automatic. That's why I said that's the disadvantage when it is automatic transmission issue like this. Especially if it's people that panic. I don't even know, because like I said, let's assume you are doing 100 kilometers per hour. All of a sudden, this kind of thing started. This issue comes up, and then start shooting toward 200 kilometers per hour. It might not be that easy to stop that vehicle, even if you are that good behind the wheel. It takes some calmness to be able to apply your knowledge in issues like this, because these are not things you learn or you have in mind, oh, this is what to do when it happens, because it barely happens until you have experienced it. The manual one is immediately you press the clutch, disengage the gearbox immediately. Your engine could wreck, because you do not stay on high RPM before you bring the car to a stop and switch it off. It might wreck your engine bearings, but at least you are alive, your car is still good. In worst case, you fix whatever that's causing it, change your engine or repair your engine, even if it affects the bearing. So that's the point. But if it's automatic, man, it could. I remember there's a time there was this. Some says it was a lie, but there was a particular time that Toyota suffered that. So I was saying it was kind of propaganda. It wasn't true, but Toyota suffered that issue where brand new Toyotas, people will start with drive, all of a sudden the car will start accelerating and it won't go. You just keep shooting, and because they are automatic. People died. You just keep driving. You can't stop the car. You just keep shooting. 200 kilometers per hour, 240, 250. You just keep hitting till you get to the last or the highest kilometer per hour the car can do. It's death. Anything that stands his way, you just knock it off, and you might say, okay, switch off the engine. Switching it off means you might less likely end up rocking your steering wheel. Because again, it depends. If there's a way you can switch it off without turning the ignition fully, your steering will not lock. Then switch on the ignition back on. If you don't do it well, your engine will even continue to run. You know. So those are the things that's automatic. This where you guys have that disadvantage, you know. So be careful when you're buying cars. This kind of issue could come up, and in that Toyota case, they say it wasn't even the ECU. They say it was the throttle pedal or throttle position sense or something like that. So it wasn't even the ECU that was causing it. But in my own experience, I think I scanned, I've forgotten whether I scanned that. I don't think I even scanned the 407 to see what caused it. Or it could be the throttle position sensor, in this case the throttle pedal, but ECU can do that too. Yeah, so there's another one I experienced with similar issue, was engine ECU. You know. So unfortunately for that 301, I don't know if that car eventually could be fixed. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was obvious that it wasn't overspeeding, because it was just a street. In fact, the spot where it happened, there was no way the car could speed into that street. No. You know, it's just as if you just entered a street from another street that have bumps. So there was no way. So it was a question of, as he was trying to park the car behind another car, maybe he wanted to press the brake pedal, which, you know, to press brake, you need to put some pressure. Maybe in the process, he mistakenly press the throttle pedal down with that force. He hit, he couldn't control it, cross the road, enter into hit. Man. Or it could be that all of a sudden the accelerator started accelerating itself, the engine, and couldn't control it, and then cause that damage. So these are things people don't know. I'm just bringing it to your notice. It happens. I've experienced it, you know. So, and especially the one I saw, it was devastating. I don't know whether eventually I later past that place, the car was no longer there. About 3 hours No, almost like 7 hours later, towards evening time, past there, I didn't see the car again. It was still down. Anyway, so wanted to share that. I don't know if anybody will gain anything from this video, but it will make sense, especially if not for anything. When you are going out there to inspect cars, look out for issues like this. When you scan the vehicle and it shows something about throttle issue, pay very attention. Throttle body, motorized, or the pedal, and then when you are test driving, pay attention to know whether engine all of a sudden start accelerating beyond what you are pressing the throttle for. So and there you know if it's something that is a minor or a major issue. And also, if you are the type that panic a lot, any small thing you start swerving, doing all this, even though something you can easily calmly control the situation without harming yourself, harming destroying the car or passers-by or other vehicles, then I don't think driving is something for you. You may have to let somebody else, your family member, or get a driver to be driving you. Not everybody can handle some of these things. You may be driving, you think what is there, is it how to put it again, until you see something that you won't be able to, your body won't be able to absorb, and you maintain calmness in that situation. That's where you see that it's not meant for you. Now, some of these accidents that happen on the road, people die, everything, the car wrecks. Sometimes, for example, you are driving and you hear a blowout, one of the tire blows. Sometimes you're not even speeding that much, you're doing like 60 kilometers per hour, your tire blows. You see people start panicking, something that you could see maintain straight line and stop the vehicle. But because of that sign you had, or your car all of a sudden, maybe it blew or the tire blew up and then it affected the stability of the car, you became scared and start swerving the steering, you panicked. That's what I mean, you panicked, and when your car itself is not even losing control, you now introduce that loss of control to the vehicle, and that's it. Maybe if that is the case, if that sort of thing happened to you in the past, you may have to stay away from driving before you kill yourself or kill your loved ones in the vehicle or kill other people, damage somebody. I don't know, just saying. But I know people always find reason to rationalize. So that's all I have. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.